His powers are back, even more firepower, randomness, and 7 games of NBA action. That's what we got on the schedule for today, so let's go. Yo, what is up guys? It's me, Zach Lee, back bringing some more daily NBA news. You guys already know that you are the real MVP. And hey, if you're new here, then welcome. You guys are also greatly appreciated. Glad you could join us. Now with the intros out the way though, like I said, we do have some things to talk about today. So let's just get right into those things. But first, I do have to give a quick shout out to the sponsor of this video, SeatGeek. For real, is there even another way to get tickets to live events anymore? Even if there is another way, is there a better way? The answer to that question is no. SeatGeek is the best way to buy tickets today to any live sporting event, concert, whatever it is, you name it. And even better is you can get $20 off your first order when you use the code SDC at checkout. I'll have the links down in the description box below for you guys to go check it out and make sure that you do. But now with that out the way though, let's just get into everything that went down yesterday. So Isiah Thomas made his debut for the Los Angeles Lakers yesterday, and we'll cover that game and how it went for IT in just a moment. But before the game itself, the media got a chance to talk to Isiah Thomas about how he feels about the trade and what it is that the Lakers can expect from him. And his response to this was he'd rather be starting than coming off the bench, but he's not going to let his desire to start interfere with the goal of the team, and he's just going to try and be the best teammate that he can be.
What did Luke tell you about what your role will be with this team and maybe how long you might be coming off the bench?
Right now, I mean, they've been playing well. It's the best they've been playing, so I don't want to mess anything up. And I told him that, so whatever he needs me to do, I'm willing to do. Yes, I would love to be a starter. I feel like I deserve that and earn that, but at the same time, it's a new chapter for me. I'm here to help this team, help these young guys, continue to be professional, continue to work hard, and continue to gel together. So I'm not too worried about that. The basketball things always work out itself if you're all in it for the team and you control what you can, and that's what I'm gonna do. And I'm gonna bring scoring and playmaking to this team, and I'm gonna do what I can to help.
So it's good that even though he does want to start, that he's willing to put that aside for the better of the team. That's a step in the right direction. And head coach of the Lakers, Luke Walton, also commented on this, saying that Isiah Thomas has been a pure professional about the whole coming off the bench situation. Thomas wants to start. Of course he does. Everybody wants to start, but he was absolutely great when we were at dinner last night. I expect him to really help our team out, and I expect him to be a positive influence on our team and help us to win ball games. So there's all of that. And look, both Isiah Thomas and Luke Walton said a lot more in their time with the media, but most of the things they said were just add-ons to what I already told you that they said, so we're not gonna go through absolutely every single thing for the sake of time. However, there was someone else that gave their opinion on Isiah Thomas yesterday, and this person's opinion on Isiah Thomas is actually pretty important. Channing Frye. It's important because of course he was with Isiah Thomas back in Cleveland, so he should have a better understanding of what it is that's going on with Isiah Thomas so far this year, and he says that Isiah Thomas is still Isiah Thomas. He's going to be fine now that he's not in Cleveland. I'll be honest, he's going to be fine. I think everybody makes a big deal out of it because it's Isiah, but Kyle Korver wasn't having a great year. I wasn't having a great year. Crowder wasn't having a great year. Dwayne Wade. You put all these different personalities and groups together, it sometimes just doesn't work out. There's nothing wrong with him. You're gonna see, he's gonna ball. How many games do we have left? You're gonna see Isiah Thomas start to become the old Isiah Thomas, especially with a faster pace, especially the way the ball moves and pops here. I think this is a better system for him. Low key, that was kind of shots at the Cleveland Cavaliers. He says with the way the ball moves here, kind of indicating that the ball didn't move in Cleveland, the ball wasn't moving, and maybe that was part of the problem. That's low-key shots in there from Channing Frye. But however, I do agree with him. It had to have been the fit in Cleveland that was causing Isiah Thomas to play like this. Yes, Isiah Thomas was coming off a hip injury, which I'm sure had something to do with it as well, but he's played so many games that he should be at the point now where he's starting to look like the old Isiah Thomas, and that just wasn't happening in Cleveland. And the hip injury he suffered is not a career-altering injury. The guy was playing on a bum hip in the playoffs last year and still playing really good. So it wouldn't make sense for him to be injured and still playing well. However, now that he's healed, he can't play. How would that work? One of the only explanations left is that it was the Cavs and the system they were running that was causing him to look not so great. And this was also confirmed by CJ McCollum, as after the game yesterday, he went out and said this: all about fit, comfort, and opportunity. Not easy coming off an injury. Also not easy to play off the ball when you're used to having it all the time. He's still a dog. no doubt about it. Yeah, I can't wait to see IT look like IT again because he was a lot of fun to watch last season. And hopefully LA can start to bring some of that out of him. Speaking of the Lakers though, I just want to share this with you guys real quick because I thought it was pretty interesting. Jordan Clarkson, who was of course part of the Isiah Thomas to the Lakers trade, who was now with the Cleveland Cavaliers, was asked some questions too yesterday. Some of them were important questions about how he sees the team doing, and some of them not so important questions, like this one, as he was asked if he will miss LeVar Ball now that he's not on the Lakers, and just take a look at his response.
It's definitely cool to play with.
Are you gonna miss LeVar Ball?
I'm out on that one.
I guess we'll have to take that as a no. So the Houston Rockets have gotten a bit better since the last time we've talked about them. As yesterday, the Houston Rockets and Joe Johnson agreed to sign with each other for the remainder of the season. This was actually kind of shocking to me, and I'm sure a lot of you too. As when I first mentioned that Joe Johnson would be bought out by the Utah Jazz, most people thought that he would go to the Golden State Warriors. Some people wanted to see him go to the Golden State Warriors just so he could win a ring. But I guess that's just not his style. If he wins the ring, he wants to feel like he earned it, and not just because he joined the best team in the NBA midway through the season, even though the Houston Rockets aren't a bad choice for him either. And I think the Rockets might be able to revitalize Joe Johnson this year. As you can guess, at 36 years old, he's having the worst season of his career since his rookie year, only averaging 7 points in 22 minutes per game. While it's not shocking that he's not a 20-point per game scorer anymore, it is shocking that he's only shooting 27% from three compared to the 41% he was shooting last year. That is why I think he'll be rejuvenated on the Houston Rockets, because unlike athleticism in the NBA, if you can shoot, you can always shoot. It doesn't matter how old you get. It's not like Joe Johnson got old and now he can't shoot anymore. No, he can still shoot. It's just he wasn't able to on the Utah Jazz for some reason. But now that he's on the Rockets, a team that has their offense built around shooting threes and layups, that's it. There's no way that on this team he's not going to be a better shooter than he was on the Jazz. The Philadelphia 76ers also got a little bit better yesterday as they prepare to make their first playoff run since 2012. As right when the Hawks announced that they will be buying out Marco Belinelli, reports came out that he will be joining the Sixers for the rest of the season. Now, Belinelli might not be the flashiest name in the league, but he will be great off the bench for Philly. He's been a solid player his entire career. He was averaging 11 points and shooting the ball extremely well from deep so far this year at 37%, and that is exactly what Philly could use, more shooters. Plus, he's also a veteran that will add more leadership to the team. And overall, it was a good signing for them. It's not as good as if they were able to trade for Tyreke Evans or Lou Williams at the trade deadline, but getting Belinelli is clearly better than nothing. There was all the news from yesterday though. Now it's about the time of the video where I get your opinions on everything that went down. It's question of the day time. Today's question of the day is this: do you think that Isiah Thomas will get back to his old all-star form? Was it Cleveland's fault that he was playing so badly? Let me know down in the comment section below. But now let's take a look at what you guys said in yesterday's video. And yesterday, I asked you guys how you feel about the media recording Markelle Fultz every single day, and here's what you guys had to say. It's really sad and obsessive. Just leave the man alone. If you're going by the theory that Markelle's issue with his shooting is mental, then I think the constant pressure of the media is a huge reason why he can't figure out how to get his mojo back. It's mental for sure. There's no way that has anything to do with his shoulder being sore anymore, because he's doing all these crossovers, he's going up for dunks, he's doing everything else except shooting, so it has to be mental. Overall, I just don't know why the media feel like they have to record the same thing every single day. Like, do you seriously have no other stories to cover? Do you have nothing better to do with your time? Don't forget to leave your answer for today's question of the day down in the comment section below. But now let's take a quick look at the games from last night. Yeah, Isiah Thomas is going to be just fine. Then again, I'm sure Cavs fans and LeBron James were sitting back watching this game wondering where this IT was for the first 16 games back. Isiah Thomas looked as close to Boston Isiah Thomas that we have seen so far. Maybe Channing Frye was right. He had 16 points off the bench in the first half alone and finished with 22 points and 6 assists on the night. Keep it up, IT, and you'll still be looking at a huge payday this summer. Lakers still lost though, 130 to 123, because offensively they were great, but they gave up 130 points to Dallas, so there wasn't a single ounce of defense being played. Dirk Nowitzki with 22 points and Julius Randle Still can't believe no teams were willing to trade for this guy. Lucky for Lakers fans though, because they should keep him. 26 points, 8 rebounds, and 7 assists for him. It took double overtime in a monster game from Anthony Davis, but the Pelicans were able to get the 138 to 128 win over the Nets. Davis with 44 points, 17 rebounds, 6 steals, and 3 blocks, and Mirotic also had his best game since the trade of round 2. He had 21 points, 16 rebounds, and Rondo had his second triple-double this season with 22 points, 12 assists, and 10 rebounds, and even Holiday played well, scoring 22 points. It took all of that to beat the Nets. Do you know why? Because the Pelicans bench is still trash. They only had 14 points off the bench in double overtime. Spurs got off to a great start, but then it was all downhill from there as the Warriors overcome a bad first quarter to get the 122 to 105 win. Klay Thompson was locked in as he had 25 points on 10 of 14 shooting, while Draymond was Draymond with 17 points, 8 rebounds, and 11 assists. The Sixers broke the Clippers' little win streak yesterday, 112 to 98. It's so nice to see Joel Embiid being able to play back-to-backs now. This was the second one of his career. It was also the second night in a row in which he dominated, 29 points and 16 rebounds for Embiid, while Lou Williams had 23 points and 6 assists for LA. The difference in this game was the Bucks have this guy named Giannis Antetokounmpo. The Magic don't have that guy. Giannis with 32 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 steals. And even though Orlando doesn't have Giannis, they do have Mario Hezonja, who I think could actually be a good player on a different team, a team that would give him consistent opportunities. He had 23 last night. There was no comeback for the Chicago Bulls last night as the Wizards were able to get the 101 to 90 win, despite Beal having his worst game of the season so far. Thomas Satoransky though got hot and had 25 points for Washington. Will Barton and Troy Daniels got into it early in this one. Took some time to separate the two players, and even then Will Barton nearly had to be tackled to the ground to stop him from going after Daniels. Surprisingly, neither of them were ejected, both just handed out technical fouls. As for the game itself, it's hard to believe that the Suns only had to give up a second-round pick for a guy who can put up 19 points, 9 assists, and 6 rebounds. Seems pretty good to me. Like I said, when the trade went down, in a couple of years, we could be looking back on this and saying, how on earth did this guy get traded for a protected second-round pick? Elfrid Payton played really well last night, but not well enough, as the Nuggets still get the 123 to 113 win. Nikola Jokic continues his excellent play with 21 points, 9 rebounds, and 7 assists. That wraps up all the action from last night though. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to smack that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on more daily NBA news, as well as join the quest to 200,000 subscribers, hashtag a milli in a year. Remember to vote for the player of the day, but also remember the only players whose team won are eligible to win player of the day. And yesterday, you guys selected Damian Lillard and his 50 points and 6 assists in only 29 minutes as your player of the day. Thank you once again for watching. I'll see all of you right back here tomorrow, but until then, I am out of here.